So there's now a ceasefire in Gaza, supposedly. I'm seeing two reactions. One is a very optimistic reaction, the idea that the genocide could be finally coming to an end. The other one's actually more common. It's a very cynical one, the idea that, of course, Israel never actually respects ceasefires, and this one will be violated. And apparently, according to some reports, there was actually a bombing of Gaza literally hours after the ceasefire was signed. I think, in my opinion, I think what we're dealing with, though, is a truth that lies in the middle between optimism and pessimism. Sure, we should be pessimistic and cynical. Israel never respects any international agreements, let alone ceasefires. But I think there's also many reasons to be at least hopeful, not necessarily naively optimistic, but to have hope, just like many people in Gaza continue to have hope despite everything they've been through. And with the ceasefire, the first thing is that, of course, even if the bombing slows down or there's a brief moment where the bombing stops, that allows the Palestinian resistance to regroup, re-strategize, build its infrastructure, and when the fighting resumes again, when the genocide resumes again, or resumes more intensely, they'll be able to fight better. The second thing is, of course, and this is the most important thing, is it provides even a brief reprieve to the civilians who are obviously severely traumatized. I believe during the previous ceasefire that occurred maybe a year ago, I can't remember exactly what date, but during that small reprieve, I remember seeing a lot of these images of, markets, of fruit and vegetables, because, of course, this kind of the bringing in of aid, all these things were able to at least resume in a somewhat normal fashion during that brief time, and this, of course, helps the civilian population. The second thing, though, also regarding this pessimism, I see a lot of people, and I actually partly agree with this, saying that this whole ceasefire is a charade. Malcolm X, of course, famously said that, the white man will only give symbolic victories rather than actual material differences. I'm paraphrasing here. But the thing is, you give these symbolic victories, these illusions of victories. You do this when you're nervous. You don't do it when you're confident, when you feel like your whole population has been subdued and, is kind of like delusional. You do this when you're worried that your domestic population is going to rise up or is going to resist fiercely. That's when you do these kinds of things. And I think the fact that even this whole ceasefire is a charade, the fact that they're doing this and they're going to this lengths to do this charade shows that they are nervous. They are nervous at the many people who are resisting, protesting, and engaging in extra legal means across the world, and they're worried about public opinion. And if you think, public opinion doesn't matter, well, I mean, that's not the case, because, of course, they spend literally billions of dollars to try to actually change public opinion. So needless to say, I think that the ceasefire, obviously we shouldn't get too excited, but I think there's reasons to be hopeful about it, and I think it is ultimately something that we should look at somewhat positively. Thank you.